Hello again, YouTube. Fancy meeting you here. This is Jiyambi from wowpro.com. This is the fourth and final installment of my zone questing review for the Southern Barrens. First of all, I want to apologize for the kind of low sound levels in the last movie. I'm still a complete video making noob, so I apologize for that. I've got some really great quests to show you in this video, but I did have to cut a lot of it out because there was just a bit too much, but not quite enough to make another video, so I will be skipping some of the less interesting quests. The first quests we're picking up right now are going to involve the battle scar, the big battle area that is out in front of this base. And if you remember from the last video, we just basically helped in a takeover of this base. The first quest we're doing just involves killing some Silithid. These Silithid hives were here in classic WoW, and they are still here and are still causing trouble. It's not a very exciting quest. You just use something to draw them out and then destroy them. So we're going to go ahead and skip the rest of it. This is the battle scar. In this area you have 3 quests to do. Basically killing soldiers, hacking apart their bodies and bringing their body parts back to one of the most awesome and quirky quest givers I have ever encountered. And then we also get to do this really cool thing where we shoot down these griffin riders and basically grappling hook the rider to you and kill him, and then chop him up as well. We also have to capture a strategic point in the center of the battle scar, which is a big flag. You basically just go up there, click on it, and a bunch of orcs appear and you have completed the objective. You don't have to defend it like you did with the hill in the earlier part of the Barrens. I'm not going to show too much of this section. These quests, they don't really drag out too long. It's actually a nice little questing area. You have 3 quests that you're doing all together. It feels really productive, but basically it's all the same after this point. So we're just going to go ahead and skip ahead so that I can get as much into this video as possible. I'm also going to skip most of the quest turn-ins. This is Calder Gray. He's the one who wants parts. He's building an abomination. I'm assuming that's some sort of reference to Grey's Anatomy. He's a pretty awesome character. Our next quest is to actually kill the Alliance General who was responsible for the destruction of Camp Terejo. So this is a really nice quest to feel a little bit vindictive, and you help these NPCs. The Alliance guy that you're actually killing is an elite, but you have these orcs to help you out, and I'm assuming a Lobby would just let them tank, and they'd be able to take it on without too much trouble since it's not marked as a group quest. There's not much else to this particular quest other than, just kill this guy, but he's an important guy to kill, and there's some interesting little chat with this orc. We're going to go ahead and skip to the turn-ins from here, though, because there's not much else, and you don't really need to see the flying. The only thing is, there is a lot of travel during that part. That's all the way back, like halfway up the zone instead of down by the fortress, so it might be a little bit annoying if you don't have a flying mount like my character actually does. The next few quests are also for Calder Gray, and I don't really have time to show you them in too much detail. Basically, you need to get him a heart from a Kodo for his abomination, and he also needs a brain. So the next little quest involves going over and killing one of the Alliance soldiers to steal its brain. Now, the quests themselves aren't that exciting, but the NPC just has a ton of character. He's really silly. He has some great, actually, little gossip lines that you can, talk to him after you turn in your quests that are they're just really funny. So he's a very memorable NPC for just being some random quest giver, and I gotta tip my hat to Blizzard for really putting in some interesting quirks for their NPCs to make them more real. This is actually the last quest that we do at this fortress, so we don't really hang around here for too long. The rest of the questing is done at the very southern tip of the Barrens. There's actually 2 camps down there. There's the guy's abomination that he made. It actually runs off and starts fighting the Alliance. You can follow it all the way down there, but I don't in this case because I want to show you some more interesting quests. In the next outpost, we will see a very familiar face. In fact, it's a character that is always been associated with the Barrens and things that are hard to find and newbies. That's right, we're gonna go meet Mancrick. He still hates Quillbore and in fact has gone on a berserker rampage and has some people actually kind of worried about him. He's down here near Razor Friend Crawl's entrance, killing wave after wave after wave of Quillbore. So that's him. He's gone a little bit insane. You see him twirling there. Now, I'm going to skip his first quest because it's really not very interesting. He just has you kill a bunch of Quillbore. The next quest, however, brings us yet another familiar face. If you have quested in the Southern Barrens in the live realms, you know that there's a Quillbore in a cage in Camp Tereho, Mangletooth, and you do all these quests for him and bring him all these blood shards that power him up, and he has taken over the Quillbore and you actually have to finally defeat him in that quest, so that's kind of funny. That's pretty much all from Mancrick. He actually has an amulet that has the flavor text of being, "This was really hard to find," which is quite appropriate. I love it when Blizzard pokes fun at themselves. I went ahead and skipped the last quest there because it was really boring and not very interesting and took a long time. So this quest here, you get from Gan Stonespire, which if you have quested in the Southern Barrens, you will also remember. And he appears to have taken a bullet to the chest and is not doing very well, but he still wants his revenge on the dwarves, so he sends you in here to kill some dwarves, make a distraction, and then go find their operative inside the fortress. And this operative is hiding with cheese on his head. Yeah, apparently that's his disguise. He wants you to get some plans, which is not that interesting of a quest. You just kind of go down into the deeper part of the fortress and get an item off the ground. It is that room that has all of those dudes. If you ever did this fortress back in the live realms, this is a horrible, horrible quest for Lobies to do. This room is death. But I think in the Cataclysm, there's not as many guys down there, so it's not quite as bad. And you get the plans, head back up to him, and I'm showing you all this. This is really one of the coolest events in the game that is going to happen right after this. I have to say, Blizzard did an amazing job with some of these quests. The next section, the goblin is going to ask you to actually blow up the fortress. And, you know, usually when you do things like this in the live realms, you know, it just kind of, they wave their hands and, oh, things turn black for a second and then they go back to normal. Well, you're going to see one of the cooler new quest technologies they've got, more phasing and even better, and I don't really want to spoil it, so I'm just going to let you watch. That's right, it was a full live-action cinematic that actually had your character running out of the dwarf fortress. It's really cool. You end up back here whenever the loading screen is up there. And the quest rewards are blue items, and this is something that Blizzard has added into every single zone. The quests are usually not they don't require groups, and you get these really nice quest rewards for doing the final, you know, basically the penultimate quest in a zone. So that's really all there is for the Southern Barrens. Some really great quests, some really great continuations of stories from, you know, the previous quests, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going to be doing Dustwallow Marsh next. I'll probably do Thousand Needles, but it may be a little bit. So stay tuned for future zone guides and subscribe if you like this video. Thanks very much.